people who are part or directly or either indirectly part of the family of Lawrence County Schools. I'm sure you may have known that Vicki Bradley, who's been a long-time teacher in Lawrence County, her father passed away this past week. And then also, a first-year teacher at Fallsburg Elementary, Mr. Craig McDavid. His wife passed away unexpectedly last week. And I'm sure everybody has heard just how tragic that was. And they were barely a couple. They had just been married barely 10 or 11 days in her passing. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask in a matter of respect and that we just take a moment of silence for the families of these two members of the Lawrence County School family, please.
Certainly.
It was a really good event when the board hosts members of the Lawrence County Schools academic teams. And many of them are evident by perhaps a red t-shirt or a different colored t-shirt representing their school colors. But we'd like to, I think most of the coaches are here, and we'd like to ask if the coaches wouldn't mind for the respective school to ask your students who are here to rise and be identified. And then I know it might take just a little bit of shuffling around, but while we've got the members of the teams here and their coaches to take just a couple extra minutes that's necessary to get pictures of them here tonight so that we can memorialize and make this part forever with a picture.
This is April the 15th, and bids haven't even been let out. Even though Chad was told back in January or so that the bids would probably be let out in February. No bids. Now, they have been as nice as they can be, coming to every board meeting, and they were promised these courts. And I know that they've been approved, and my question is this: who is responsible for getting this done? Is it UMI and the board? Is it Codale? Or is it Murphy Graves? Just tell me who.
At the last special meeting, if I'm not mistaken, we approved the next step in the process that came to us, and that was for Codale to be approved as the construction manager for the tennis court project. I'm not going to throw anybody, as expressors, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I know that it's a shared effort and people want to see courts finished so students can play on them. Sean, I'm going to defer to you. You're welcome to say anything you want.
Well, what I was gonna address this item. The meeting that you're referring to was in October. At that time, the funding was approved and submitted to KD. KD basically approved the capital funds request essentially the end of January, 1st of February. So from that standpoint, we were waiting for funding. And that is correct. We can't start construction until April because this is essentially an asphalt job. I met with James Bauman. The bids, we've been essentially promised that we can release this to bid Monday of next week. That's when we're going to be advertising in the local paper. We're going to bid it for 2 weeks. We've already set the pre-bid date and the bid date. Those are in the front end spec. And then shortly after that, there's no bond sale with this. Cash is on hand. So as soon as the contracts are awarded, the bids will be taken. Contracts awarded, we'll have a special meeting to make those recommendations. And construction can then begin approximately a week to 2 weeks following that.
When is that, in May?
Yeah, do you remember the date that we set? May the 10th is what we have tentatively bid opening.
How long does it take to build them?
They're saying 6 to 8 weeks, and that came from a couple of different tennis court more along the lines of 6 weeks, but we talked with 2 different tennis court contractors, and that's essentially who was going to be bidding this, or tennis court contractors. Those are all going to be licensed, regular, you know, that's what they specialize in. It's not going to be, and we've also taken into account the, you know, the grading that we've been talking about, things of that nature. So about 6 to 8 weeks. The reason why we're doing that is so that the existing tennis courts can still be used while the new ones are being built. As soon as the new ones are finished and completed and ready to play on, they're going to move. They're going to take all the asphalt off the existing courts. They're going to rework all the soft spots. They're going to take those out, remediate those. And then as soon as the 2 phases are complete, you will have 8 brand new courts. We're not going to simply resurface those. Those will be completely reworked. So there'll be essentially 8 brand new courts, brand new fences. So I mean, it'll be a top-notch facility. The only thing is there's, you know, lights on the existing courts now that'll be refinished. A future project will add lights to the additional courts.
Get a project done?
Well, what you're referring to last year in June in our meeting, if you were there at that meeting, they approved it as part of the renovation. That was going to take, you know, we were going to use bond money to pay for those tennis courts. Several items that we're incorporating into this project were going to be basically set aside to redo these tennis courts. KD told us because of the use, and it's not on the district facilities plans, we can no longer use funds for that project. So therefore, that got removed out of the renovation phase. So I mean, there were several steps that took place. I mean, it's not like this was, everybody approved it and promised everything in June or May of last year. That didn't happen. We all agreed that the tennis courts were a priority in that meeting that we had when you guys came and presented the trophies, and that was a very nice presentation. But it has been a phased process. I mean, it hasn't been an easy process to get through KDE, but in the end, yes, you will have 8 brand new tennis courts that you'll be able to use.
I'm glad
that didn't be brought into Lawrence County.
Yeah.
And that's all, because I kind of thought it might be possible. So it was kind of counting on it.
We were all
He would-
100% behind getting the tennis courts.
I know that. I know
mean, we
that.
all wanted them,
And
and I
he-
would love to have them in May.
Do you think he would have scheduled all his tennis matches away? No way.
No, we would not.
Because he was sure. But, you know, now he's just trying to find a home match for our last senior. So I guess he could maybe get somebody to come up here now so they're not going to get done. But we will. Hopefully by the end of the summer.
Anything to do with tennis. Did the teachers get the percent raise? They didn't get it?
It hasn't been.
Well, I know you all had a meeting for the budget and stuff.
That was just a work session.
Okay.
There was just lots of conversation.
Okay, are they gonna get it?
It is one of the pieces that's on the board, and I won't speak for the board, but it's one of the pieces I think that they all certainly understand the importance of.
Okay.
I won't speak for them, I'll let them do that.
When will y'all make that decision?
We have another finance meeting scheduled for May the 2nd.
Yeah.
And then it's not the draft budget. What do we call it, Ms. Humphrey? Tentative, thank you, the T word. The tentative budget then is approved in the regular meeting in May. For next year. Whatever the third Monday is in May. May 20th, thank you, Ms.